Mics are working.
Oh, yes,
Hi.
we're back.
Yeah, we're back. Okay.
Yes.
We're back in the shipping container. We are.
Whoa. Hey, we got
Whoa.
heat, at least.
Yeah. We have air conditioning.
Wow.
Oh,
so
welcome.
many problems.
We took the camera off GM because we didn't want
Exactly.
the vintage look.
Welcome back to a new season of Calling the Audible. It is the spring season. It is the 1 month off from all of us pinheads, and we finally
Well, except
reconvened.
you, obviously.
No, exactly. But
You decided not to be there.
Well, it is
Oh,
what it
guys,
is.
I can't make it.
Chicken pox. Anyway,
Sure, Mokan, you're 35.
it is now spring season. It is now time to talk about the new season of football. Here we have
Yes.
Division E, which we'll cover in this segment. Simon Dagenet
Hi. Hi, guys.
with his nice boy band haircut. Peeze with a gorgeous haircut.
Thanks, man.
GM always with the pristine haircuts.
Are you guys team Yanni or team Laurel?
I don't know either of this, but I was
I
also
sadly
just about
heard-
to mention that I'm not actually visible right now. I'm just
I don't
annoyed.
understand your question, and I won't respond to
Are you
it.
Yanni or Laurel?
I actually heard both.
You heard
Like,
both?
Yeah, I heard it on my phone. I heard Laurel, but when it came on the radio, because they were talking
That does
about
make
it,
sense though.
I heard.
Is it
It
Yanni or
has to do
Laurel?
with pitch frequencies and how you're receiving.
That's what
so,
it was, right? That's what they said.
So different speakers will sound different. But I heard Yanni.
I
So
heard
this
Laurel
is
Mahone.
another one of those like blue or white dresses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blue or gold?
It was blue and gold.
It was
right?
great to me.
That's Eagle, who looks a little bit perturbed right now. Anyway, it is Division E, and we'll talk about this division here every week. And are we doing the Yanni and Laurel thing here?
I don't get it.
Can you stop the music already?
Yeah, the music's been going. I know, this has been a terrible start to the new year of spring football.
Also, the clock's
Glad
not
to be
on.
back.
The clock isn't on. Where's the remote for the clock? I don't know what the remote is.
Just hit the clock.
All right, the shipping container's really gone berserk here. Where is the remote?
Moo!
Anyway, as we find the remote here. Okay, we've been on for 2 minutes. We've been on for 2 minutes. That's a fact. I know.
Yeah,
But
we-
we
we've,
gotta know for the next 2 minutes, Mokan.
I have the clock here. All right, let's
I
talk
can't
about
wait
it.
to go
Division E. This is sort of a different year of Division E where we've kind of expanded upon
Mhm.
tiering the divisions here. So let's talk about
I call it
that
Peace
right now.
Madness.
Well, let's talk
I
about
came
that.
up with it myself, but
It's true.
without any.
Your idea.
Yeah,
Well, let's
straight
talk
from
about it though, PZ, right? For those who are not familiar with Division E and how and why this has been done, PZ, explain to us the madness behind this whole process of why we're doing E1 and E2, starting with E1.
So this
Stop
information. So this idea stemmed from the winter. So the clock's upside down. It's freaking me out.
That's
the-
not the reason.
This stemmed from the winter time, where we looked at past seasons of Division 6, Division E, and we noticed there's a great disparity in teams because we have some teams that are completely new and have no FPF experience and get trashed, and then we have some teams that come in and they have a low, like they're unknown, but they're like ridiculous athletes who have like, you know, CJEP level or whatever
Yeah.
level experience, and they're the ones doing the trashing.
So
And then
Air
we have
Force
teams-
One, basically.
And then we have teams that fit into that middle group or just perpetual Division 6, Division E teams who never legitimately have a chance because they're always falling in the middle of these two groups. So we decided to split it last season where, and we saw it was much more competitive in the lower divisions. Division 6D, the development league, saw that rather than the lowest teams getting picked on by the more athletic teams and the more experienced teams, they had many more opportunities to play against each other and learn. Now, the only problem with that was the Division 6 playoffs, specifically 6D, were horrendous.
They're
Right.
terrible.
They were terrible.
Well, it was top heavy.
It was probably because because that great disparity still occurred. So we at this point we said, why don't we play out a whole season, rank teams where we think they will fall, so Division E1 and E2, and then once teams qualify for the playoffs, we will re-rank the top 16 of each division and potentially place them from E1 into E2 or E2 into E1, and put them in the playoff tournament bracket where we think they belong. Now, myself, Jim Coletuas, Eagle and Master Control, we all play Division E, so we're not on the selection committee.
I don't play in Divi.
I thought you were at the time, so sorry. But however, I wanted to involve scorekeepers, and two members of the show, Mo Khan and Simo Dajing, are scorekeepers.
Yes, we are.
They are also not playing Division E, so they're impartial.
That's correct.
Along with FPF scorekeeping extraordinaire, some would say by far the best scorekeeper in FPF,
Yes.
Stefano Berardi. They will make up the
Body of
body of the selection
Yeah.
committee, and Eagle is working on an algorithm that will help us determine the strength of schedule that everyone played. So it'll help us make the decisions for us to see which team, where each team should play in.
Basically, if you went 10-0 against teams that went 0-10, you don't really mean anything to us. So that's kind of the emphasis that we're
That's not
going
nice.
with.
That's not nice.
It's kind of true, though.
It's still
I mean, we've always seen it where a team goes like 9-1, and it's because their schedule was a bunch of bottom feeders,
Yeah.
right? So
still not nice.
I mean, someone's got to feed at the bottom. That's why we have shrimp.
Shrimp.
Facts. So
Facts with peas.
now that was a terribly long and boring segment, but hopefully everyone understood. It's also in my one of my preseason Division E articles, the first of which to come out. So please feel free to read that or message me directly if you have any questions, and I will give you all the time your questions deserve.
Perfect, because
The
I'm
bu-
fishing fast right now.
Yeah.
Good.
Fast and Furious and Mokan.
That's right.
But Mokan, before we get into any other content,
Yes.
I've heard that you fancy yourself a bit of a cricket expert.
My dad is.
And don't back off your stance.
You
Cricket
said
expert
you were.
Mokan.
Yes.
yeah.
TSN 690's cricket correspondent Mokan. I went down the rabbit hole this week with a colleague of mine where we spent hours.
Sorry, Eagle. How do you not have a shot of Mo drinking the chocolate milk right now?
He's breaking some fast, man.
Yeah. Okay, carry on, please.
So we went down the rabbit hole and decided to watch an extended period of time.
Oh,
An
it extends.
oh my
It
God.
extends beyond belief.
The highlights
I heard it
took
goes for
hours to
days.
watch, and it was a game that lasted days.
I heard it goes for
Days.
It definitely
So
does.
so I just and I started looking up cricket, and I was more confused as I was looking it up than I was before it
The more
started.
you watch cricket, the less you know.
So all of these terms that I found
Yes.
to be absolutely insane. So I'm gonna once in a while throughout the series of shows today, from Division E to Division A, when you hear this sound,
Is it is it the Mokan sound?
I can't hear it, so it's no longer in my
Yeah,
headset.
no.
But anyway, so
I prefer
whenever
the
you hear the
Mokan
cricket sound or Eagle slapping me to let me know what's happening, I have to interrupt the show with a quick cricket test between Mokan and Simon Dagenet to define the term, and GM Calethris needs to decide as the judge, because you're on the cricket selection committee.
The cricket selection.
You will
committee.
decide who is most right about cricket, and we'll start this off with what is fast leg theory? Mokan.
Can 2 words, 1 word?
Fast leg theory, 3 words.
Oh, it's the bowler.
Simon Dagenet, fast leg theory.
It's not the bowler. After you hit the ball, the fastest guy to make it.
No, the bowler.
GM Calethris.
Neither are right.
No, but which one wins? This show's not about learning.
No.
As much as I want to side with Simo on this one, it just wasn't funny. So
Yeah, I know.
I'm
You
going,
gotta
I'm
be-
going with
Well,
Mo.
it's not funny.
Yeah, I need you to be funny. I don't want you to be right.
Well, I'm not-
I never want you to be right in anything. That's what the show's
I'm
based
also
on.
not funny.
But you were neither right nor funny.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Moo. So, you may
Yes.
commence your show.
All right, cool, perfect. All right, as we get back on course here for Division E. All right, as you're doing the whole explanation point, in the broader context here of your new playoff formats,
Mhm.
PZ,
Peace Madness.
a team. The example I'll give you:
Pattern
a
pending.
team that goes say 10-0 in E2. What is their value in the whole process?
Well, that's going to be up to the selection committee as well as the.
Well, it also depends who they played, right?
And well,
And
that's what the
how
algorithm
the
is
other
there
team-
for, to help us assess. And don't forget, as the season goes on, it's kind of like the BCS ranking. Like, we're going to have weekly updates from the algorithm.
Mhm.
So we'll be able to
Hopefully.
argue all season long about where we think a team will stand,
right.
and also Marc-André Delaunier and I, in my article, will be putting out our top 16 every week. So that's essentially saying who we think will be in the E1
So
playoffs.
a 32
But you're not in the
team
selection
playoff.
committee, so you
No,
mean-
but that's
so
we're
it
media.
means
We're biased
nothing.
media members.
So
So
it means nothing.
Yeah, Mel Kiper. It means nothing.
a 32 team playoff that's going to be broken down then.
Yeah, into two separate playoffs.
Two separate playoffs.
And I think it'd be fun. Look, it might not work. It might be terrible, but it might be awesome. So
It could be anything.
it could be anything, transcendent even.
Perhaps innovation for the new age FPF world.
Peace madness.
Let's talk
Pattern
about
pending.
Division E1 then, DE1. PC, looking at the broader perspective of this division, who are the favorites? Is it Los Bandidos? Is it Pension Plan, who had a terrible ending to their playoff run in the winter season? Loyola's Finest had an awful winter year. Is it the U that took out pension plan in the playoffs here. Who are we looking at in terms of teams to watch out for in E1?
I mean, Division E is often decided by quarterbacking, and we saw that in Division 6 when Stephen Harpersod and Air Force One with Simon Blais won. We considered them, we long considered them to be the top two teams in Division 6 and 6D, just based on quarterbacking alone. And so I tend to give the edge here to Pension Plan because of Vince Pisano's work.
Yeah, but he hasn't played well in the playoffs.
That's true. That's true. But he's also still in Division E, whereas guys like Harpersod have moved on. Guys like Stiles Trudeau have moved on to Division D.
But
You
does
know-
that devalue his? Let's say he does win E1.
Yeah.
Does that devalue his championship because the best quarterbacks have moved on? The guys that have taken him out by the knees.
Not necessarily, in that like a Division D championship is still as valuable as a Division C championship. It just sometimes it takes people longer to develop and longer to learn. And Vince Pisano's not a natural quarterback; he's a guy who's just learning the position. And
He also doesn't have the same ceiling. Let's say.
no, but he doesn't have to. If he can win, just based on his play calling intelligence alone, and I think a strong skill set, I think I don't know. I'd be happy with the championship division.
Oh
Yeah.
no, for sure. That's what I'm saying. But that he doesn't necessarily have the same ceiling as like a CFL player, right?
Devalue
No,
in what sense?
obviously.
though?
You look at Winter, right? Stiles Trudeau. Those in the list that he made before Peeze in particular, Stephen Harpersod, those are all good quarterbacks, right? We don't know what the quarterback value is in this new E1 format.
Okay.
And in theory, if Vince Pisano is the best quarterback in this context of Division E1, but everyone else is eons behind him, does that devalue what he could be as a quarterback?
Does winning a championship in the spring compared to the winter season
It's two different-
devalue a spring championship?
I always
Because
find
it's
winter-
more competitive in the winter.
Absolutely
But do
it is.
people
but
turn
I
their
find
backs on a
I disagree
but
because
do
I
people turn
yeah.
their backs on a spring championship? Do you say, hey, a winter championship is different from a spring championship?
Absolutely.
I know
And
a
I
championship
would
is
say
a
the team.
championship.
I would say
It's
honestly,
different.
other than Division A or 1, because I know we spend most of our time talking about 5% of the league, but other than Division 1 and A, the spring is a far more competitive season
Yes.
than the winter in most of the divisions because
in
you
the lower
just
divisions.
the FPF teams returning. I would say up to Division B
In all divisions,
because
but
Division
A.
B to me is always stronger than Division 3.
Agreed.
And we'll talk about whether or not it is later tonight. Stay tuned. Teaser from Peeze.
Oh, can I piece these?
So all that to say is no, I
PCs.
don't think it devalues it because at the end of the day, a championship's a championship, and you worked hard to get there.
But you know who's back in the division, by the way, who Simon had no idea about. Jean-Guy, our
Oh,
boy.
your
boys.
Johnny Football's back,
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah. I'm more of a Pink Kush guy, but still, yes, Jean-Guy is back, as potent as ever.
Oh, they were terrible. I watched
We
them play,
we
man.
watched that game together.
Yeah.
So
a hot mess.
at their
A
best,
bad mess.
they were 5-5.
Can we? By the way, can we have a segment pot strain or FPF team?
Yes,
Pizza
also, yes.
boxes and
We'll also test Mokan on that.
I like that. I like that a lot.
So the thing is that
Not mine.
I think they're gonna struggle in this season. Chatran hasn't played for a while.
a couple years.
Excuse me, 'cause I forgot his first
Couple
name. I'm not doing the
Jean
the-
Christophe.
One
Jean
John.
Christophe
We
said
call him
something.
Johnny Football.
Johnny-
Johnny
JC football.
Yeah.
Not to be confused, of course, with Jesus Christ football. But
Really?
he hasn't played in a little while. And other than Simon Laporte, this team is lacking some firepower.
But that's what it is. He's the guy for them, Simon Laporte.
He
right?
is the
No,
Jean-Guy.
it's not
he,
the
had,
only-
he had 3
he is
sacks.
the Jean-Guy.
Yeah.
He had 3 sacks for them on Tuesday. But
Do you know what
they-
Jean-Guy means?
you're right, though. I don't think they're going to have that firepower required to be effective.
I don't know.
in E1.
We watched the game together.
We did.
Was it a date?
It was bad. Yes, it was a date.
By
it was a Tuesday
schedule.
night date that brought us me and Mokan.
By a schedule
4
that we
hours.
have. From,
No, it's a date, Mokan. Mokan's a date. But it's not necessarily that the team lacks firepower. First of all, the quarterback made some terrible plays. Some guys were open. Their snapper
Johnny Football.
is a big dude, and
Yes.
he can move. Like he's a good player. He's open, and then the guy just throws into coverage for a pick. There's only so much a receiver can do when he's not targeted. Even if he's open, if you're not targeted, you can't do anything.
Mhm.
So I don't think they're lacking firepower. I think they just need to go back to drawing boards and figure something out that works better for them than
They've had
just
2
trying
years,
to chuck
Simon.
it down.
They've had 2 years to figure this out.
Yeah, but they changed quarterbacks.
No, John,
He's the original.
He's the original
yeah, the
guy.
original. But
We call him Johnny
the
Football for a
previous
reason.
time Jean-Guy played, he wasn't the quarterback.
Jean-Guy
No, in
football.
between, because he had left to go to France for a couple of years. or he left to go to France. For
There's
whatever
no way
reason.
that helps anyone get better at football. by the way,
No,
going to
no,
France.
There's no way.
absolutely not.
We saw it happen to Justin Blanchard. Every season.
He got softer.
Yeah.
Not the better. But
He feels like he's unionized in
It's
all
all about
circumstances.
it's all about the baguette.
what's the update with Gab Wiseman as the Bruins quarterback?
So Gab
though?
Wiseman
Are we still up in the air with him?
Sprained his ankle and is on vacation.
So that's not good for the Bruins.
Yeah. So
Very bad for everyone.
is he in Europe now or?
No, not yet. He's leaving this weekend, I think.
So, but where is he? But where is he going?
He's
Do you
leaving for
remember?
2 weeks.
Do you remember?
Somewhere in Europe, I think
Okay.
Greece. And
So
some
my
other
thing
place.
is, I believe topless beaches help you recover quicker. So he'll be back soon.
And we both know that's where Wiseman's going.
A team I like though, Rancers.
So Rancers are back, kinda. It's
were-
very different from their Division
Original.
4 team.
Yeah.
Well, they were good at the back end of the season when they started figuring out FPF.
But it's not the same group. It's only like 3 guys. Who are
Ricard
the same-
DeRosier
But I think that's going to
is
help
back.
them. Yeah.
And he's a monster. He doesn't have the knee brace anymore. He looks like he's much more agile. But you notice that Simon, I don't know if you saw it or not, but Peeze, he was wearing a football cleat and he was wearing like a dress Nike shoe. Like, it looks like a Van shoe he was wearing. So
Mhm.
two different styles
Like,
of
like a
shoes.
kicker.
Yeah,
He's a kicker.
essentially that's what he was,
It's
right?
interesting.
Like Jan Stenroot or something like that. But
Mhm.
he's their go-to guy, I believe, in their
Oh,
offense.
Probably he's probably their best player. Also.
Size matchup problem, and he has great hands, and he has really dear feet out there.
I'm going to throw 2 names out there real quick for teams that
Okay.
could be dominant. One is Ducks. So they made the change away from quarterback. They had Frankie Scalzo and Matt Dumont was subbed this week, but he's not going to be their full-time quarterback. But obviously, they were good with Scalzo in the winter. And so if they went away from a guy who brought them to a quarterfinal, they must have someone better.
Yeah.
And Karim
Oh, so
said,
Dwayne Casey theory, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
which, yeah, he was the problem.
Yes. Of
The
course.
fact that they don't have LeBron was the reason
Yes,
in
of
case he got
course.
fired, for sure.
Ducks need LeBron.
But Karim Morissette and Renaud Saint Laurent, to me, are just dominant receivers
Hugo
in,
Saint-Laurent's a
in,
monster.
the, in the division.
He's
Um,
very good.
Also, Glow Gang, somehow Arnaud Desjardins still able to throw in Division E. I think is a mistake. I think he's far too strong for the division.
He's pretty good.
Well, the big game is for them Tuesday when
he just
Rancers
won.
play.
He just won a
Ducks.
championship with Moss City.
Yeah.
Like just
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
Just now.
Just now.
Thanks to the algorithm he's playing.
But
But
he's
there's
playing.
a big
But
game.
he just won a Division 5 championship.
Yeah.
And he's now a quarterback in Division 6.
E.
E. Same.
It's like
E1.
It's like 5.5.
Yeah.
But Ducks and Rancers play each other this weekend in
It's gonna be a good
Brossard.
game.
That's gonna be a great game.
Great game.
But one thing the Ducks have to do: get better uniforms. Those numbers you can't read those.
So they're
Idiots.
cool uniforms except if you're scorekeeping.
Yes. Yes, you know.
So we have some write-ins right now.
Oh, really?
nice.
From
Yeah.
who?
Peace's brother.
That's
obviously.
surprise. Shocker.
We have MJ or LeBron,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and then LeBron or Gabe Wiseman,
Oh, that's
and
Gabe
then Topless Beaches or MJ.
Topless beaches.
So instead of like it's a reverse bracket almost. It was like,
I like
it was
it.
MJ or LeBron, and then it went outwards to LeBron or Gab Wiseman, and MJ or Topless Beaches.
I like it.
yeah. Okay.
I don't know if you guys saw it.
Thanks, Duke.
The guys from Barstool Sports came up with a site of MJ versus LeBron.net. And
Yeah, it's pretty good.
and it's awesome because it puts a variety of crowdsourced situations that those two might be in.
Yeah.
So, for example, MJ in Space Jam
Mhm.
versus LeBron in Space Jam 2, which hasn't happened yet because he's a coward. And then it runs a simulation to see how many games the person will win in. So sometimes LeBron in 4, sometimes MJ in 5. Sometimes you'll have a GOAT named MJ versus LeBron James with no hair,
Right.
and so on and so forth. And sometimes the winner's Kobe, oddly. So
That happened one time.
yeah, it's a cool generator. If you
Cool.
want, check it
Alright.
out. LeBron MJ versus LeBron.com. .net. Sorry, we'll continue your show.
Yes,
Mohan.
absolutely.
I'm going to be very distracted all day today.
That's right. You're sidetracked by everything. Loyola's finest. What do we see from these guys? They had an awful winter year, but they get a big one over Tropic Thunder.
Well, they went up a division, back down, kind of, because they
Yeah.
were from the Fall Cup. I don't like the name as much, so minus points. That's my
Loyola's
oh, that's
finest?
right. They were Loyola
Dawson's
Warriors.
fast. No, this is Dawson's Caps finest.
Oh yes.
That was a better name.
Yeah, it was a better name. Look, there's talent on the team. Adamo Petruccelli, David Lombardi, Gabriel Bardetti. And the thing is, once again, like, they do take it to Tropic Thunder. Tropic Thunder is a team kind of moving up from FPF junior-ish, in a sense.
Yeah.
Ish. And some
Ish.
guys from Siths and so on.
Grondin throwing the ball.
But I think that the big issue with Loyola's finest is I don't know whether or not George Spano will be throwing all season, because we saw him kind of take reps here and there last season. And whether or not I
I
think
think
if he's the quarterback full time, this will be a very strong team.
I think just the fact that it's not their second season anymore. Like they're getting more and more experience. They kind of know what they're doing now. It helps. Like when you come in your let's say third season for
Mhm.
them, you kind of know what to expect. Whereas your first season, you're all over the place. It was fall season too, so it was a bit of a mix up. He was playing teams that they shouldn't have been playing against. So just the fact that it's not their first season anymore, it's gonna help them. And then on top of that, you got a bunch of guys who should be very strong players in Division E. It should be a strong team.
So here's a question for you boys: the returning teams from the winter season to now the spring season in this division, do you expect them to be in the upper echelon of favorites to perhaps win on? Now it was supposed to be August 12th, now August 5th.
I wouldn't say, because there's not a lot of new teams to spring this season. Like most of these teams are returning from the winter or previous spring teams, so I wouldn't say they have like a head on anybody else.
Was this right?
Any team, I don't think
Yeah.
there's a lot of new teams,
Returning
brand
teams.
new teams, all returning teams, right?
Mhm.
So I wouldn't count it that way, Mo. But
Yes. Yeah, carry on. Listen.
oh, sorry, I thought you said yes.
I know. No. I'm
Okay.
listening to
But
you.
since we have stopped,
Yes.
because anything you write in, I will read out.
Yes, go ahead,
We have
Gio.
another write-in question: ice cream sandwich or drumstick?
Drumsticks.
All the way.
Drumstick, yes.
Thank you, Duke.
Although, if you can take 2 giant wafers with some vanilla ice cream and make a drumstick ice cream sandwich, just straight up
And then
inception.
dip
But isn't that
that.
too soft, though?
Iceception. What?
Isn't that too soft, though, to take that type of style of
So maybe like
sandwich?
a graham cookie.
Yeah, more
like a
thorough.
s'more, like a s'more
yeah,
drumstick.
like a Hershey's
Ooh,
graham
give me s'more.
cracker.
Give me s'more.
Yeah, that sounds.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
sounds
that could work.
naughty.
I don't mind.
Put on the
that.
poll, please, Eagle. Well, get one, please. E2.
On a physical poll. by
Make
the
it
way.
happen.
Make it happen. E2.
Yes.
A brand new survey of the land here.
Mhm.
Who do we know who's the favorites in this division?
Guardians.
Guardians.
By
beat-
a long
Guardians will
shot.
go 10-0 and score 800 points.
If any team's going 10-0, Guardians, maybe Los Avocados.
No,
They have a strong team.
they are.
And, I mean, nobody could guard Thomas Orko in this division.
But
Is
If
that
he
a
doesn't
good or
get
bad
25 touchdown, I don't understand.
Well, look, Los Avocados, he is the offense. Like, if you look at the breakdown
Oh,
of
yeah.
what he did compared to everyone else, it's like him and then 2% the rest of the team.
But nobody could guard him. And on top of that, he produces. It's not
He
like
does produce, I agree.
he just had a game, 4 touchdowns. Like
So, but
130
But
yards.
is that sustainable?
and
Yes.
and they play each
For
other.
a 10-week season.
It's also not a winning formula we've seen in FPF to have one guy carry the load.
I mean, isn't that what Max Burrow's been doing for every team he has?
but he and
they
they,
made
did
the
not win the
finals.
championship this past.
I mean, the
past
finals last year.
Yeah, but again, so what we saw from Fighting Flamingos was that they shut down. They went high and low on Max Bura and then forced Max Styles to
Styles
Max
Trudeau.
Styles to beat him somewhere else. But again, so you look at to have Pat Saint-Amand throwing in this division because he's a coward.
You tell him,
He's
PZ.
also-
Oh, I am nonstop. It's in my article too. You're a
Is he
coward.
throwing in D2?
Moo, straight up moo.
257
No, D
yards.
is
Oh, Frank A.
Frank A throwing, but Etienne Vaillancourt and Kevin Marshall as receivers is ludicrous.
Fast.
And they got put down in E2 because the assumption was that Kevin Marshall was throwing and they were a struggling team, but they're gonna end up in the E1 playoff no matter what. So I can't.
would they be
I
a
can't
one-
wait till
Here-
their playoff loss.
So here's the argument I'll bring up to you right
Or
now,
playoff
boys.
win.
Loss.
And obviously we can't when we make the decision here. But if you were one of us, PZ, would you say right now
But he's not.
that
This
he's
is why.
not, the Guardians would be your E1 number 1 seed?
Yeah, most likely.
Well,
I think they're gonna because I think they're gonna hammer teams and the point differential is gonna be so ridiculous. They'll be a top 3 seed in E1.
which is surprising, knowing them, like knowing the players.
Yeah.
They don't feel the kind of guys who
Oh,
are gonna hammer players.
I messaged Etienne Vaillancourt and we talked a bit, and I messaged Moo.
If you look at
He
But
knew. He knew.
if they played,
knew.
let's say the Guardians played E1,
Mhm.
would they? And let's say they go 7-3. Would you say, hey, you know what? They're still my number 1 seed, or is it because they're in E2 and they run the table, they go 10-0 and they
I
have
think
800
I
points
think
for?
they would be a top 3 seed in E1
Okay, so if they're in
Yeah,
E1, but
probably.
as an E2
because
team, they could be
quarterbacking
one.
makes such a huge difference in Division E.
Right.
and also the receivers are good.
Yes,
But
So-
I could see these guys playing. Let's say they play one of the worst teams in Division E2, like a team that's struggling, new to FPF. I could see them switching quarterbacks and putting Kevin Marcel in for that game. Because why
But-
not, right?
But are we when you're saying
I mean maybe, but
Because why not?
then why wouldn't you register with him or move up and not be cowards?
Well, I don't know. I'm
Here's
just
a
saying
question
from
for you
this
though,
point on,
PZ.
they can't do anything about it, so that's the only thing they can do about it.
If the Guardians were to go in E1 7-3, but those
Yeah.
3 losses came against the best 3 teams,
Mm-hmm.
would you still say they're a top 3 team, or they'd be?
Well,
like
I mean, in that specific scenario, they'd probably drop, but I think also that wouldn't happen because I think
also
they'd be
think
one of
that-
the top 3 teams.
Yeah, they're a very strong team.
Like they're gonna go 10-0 in E2.
9-1.
I don't do predictions either.
Okay,
like, for me
but
to say this, it's
all
just
right, but let's just go the 9-1 or 8, because this is fascinating now, because this new playoff concept we have here, it's all that projection. If they go 9-1 or 8-2, are we still projecting them as being a top seed or going now? They're in the next bracket of teams at 2, 3, or 4, or 5.
But we should ask you the question because
I
you're
know,
the one
but-
picking.
well, no,
I know,
but
we
he-
can't because if we
because
can't
you
get
guys
it off.
you guys can't be biased,
Yeah,
so
can't
let
be
my
biased
bias
in
reign
this
through.
whole process.
Yeah,
What do
like
you mean we can't be biased?
to me,
We can't.
Anything-
come on their
can
shit.
be bought.
depending on their
can't
losses,
be biased.
depending who
I
they
can.
lose to, like if they lose to Avocados, for example, okay, that's a
Yes.
good loss. So they're probably
Well,
still going to
also
finish.
depends how much you're losing by. If
Yeah.
you're losing 40-6, because you were missing 40 like half your team, it's a different story. And everybody showed up and you lost by 20 points.
Yeah, well, that's going to be the committee's thing to evaluate.
Will we have a winless
Also,
team in E2?
A win less?
Winless team.
I don't think so.
With the way Eagle called the defense for 1-speed power, it might be 1-speed power.
Oh God, yeah.
So
We had 3 interceptions.
not enough, Eagle. Not
You
enough.
saw in my
yeah,
article.
because he threw.
We saw in your article, defensive mastermind who can't play. Straight up.
My I
You're welcome.
I think Brewers are going to continue to struggle, unfortunately, because I really like them. I think they're good dudes, but I think
They're
they're
nice
gonna win.
guys. But
I think there's enough parity in the lower end of E2
Mhm.
that we'll see everyone with a win.
I also think that a team like Brewers might not finish with a strong record.
Yeah.
But they'll improve.
From last season, yeah.
Yeah, they have improved from last season. They'll improve moving forward, and the fact that they don't have 25 guys on the roster anymore will help them.
I
Oak
did
Heart looked
speak
pretty bad
to. By the way, I did speak to Christopher Moraine, the captain of Brewers, and he said that it started off actually really well. Their game, they got a pick on the first play, and they were down by 1 touchdown at the end of it. Basically, they got an INT and they managed to score at the end of it. So much better than they were doing last year,
Oh, for sure,
obviously.
for
and
sure, for
yeah,
sure.
I think it's a good start for them for this season.
Any dark horse team to watch out for that you have an eye on, PZ?
Isn't conceivably a dark horse team one that we wouldn't see coming?
No,
That'd be
but
successful?
in this new division here, right?
Especially in a new division.
Yeah, in this division here, we can talk about maybe number 1.
Could he be a
Maybe.
light horse?
So
I love the name, by the way.
two
number
teams
1.
that played against each other in the first
No,
week:
man.
Zone 6 Ballers
Yeah.
and Orza.
Zone 6 ballers are good, man.
Orza has they're actually know a couple of kids. They play high level hockey, good athletes. Athleticism usually works out in FPF, and sometimes it works out better than guys who are just football players. Just guys
Yeah.
who are
What is hockey?
it's a thing.
Sport.
And Zone 6 Ballers
It's up there with crickets.
again. So not quite as organized, but just the athleticism of James Lee Valbonard is going to be an issue for teams.
All right.
for sure.
It's going to be hard to rush him. Eagle, get ready for week 3 because we got to take care of them.
Do you have your preseason award winners ready for your us? Okay, we'll do that next week. Your finals predictions, my friend, for E1.
E1.
Yes, and obviously we can't make
Not
that.
Ewok, E1.
You know what? And you can take whatever you want. You can take a team from E2 to put in E1.
I'm going to. It's going to be Guardians against Pension Plan.
Oh, interesting.
And Vince Pizzano will lose again.
Maybe.
But
I
that
hope
means
not.
he's
He's a really good guy.
That
by
also
the way.
means
I
he-
love him, but the problem is, and he'll tell
Really?
you point blank.
Would you make him small spoon? Would you small spoon him?
No.
Oh.
He
Put him the
look.
pole,
He looks
please.
like a kind of guy who wants
What?
to be vulnerable once in a while.
Would you small spoon?
No,
someone?
wait.
No, Vince Pizzano
No,
specifically.
Put him on the pole, please.
What did you say?
Put him on the pole, please.
No, before that.
What?
The spoon thing that you said. You got interrupted. I want to know because you said, "Would you small spoon him?" And then he said something else.
I really don't know.
I said no.
Me
put him on the
neither. I
pole.
want to hear what he said.
Okay, but like no.
What Mo was about to say? It was about to say that if Pension Plan were going to lose, that conceivably meant that Guardians would win, was the train of thought he was about to go with.
Yeah, but like we all like being small spoon, right?
Yes.
So like presumably.
Even your brother says small spoon are so underrated.
That's what I'm saying. So like Vince Pizzano underrated, like small spoon. Vince Pizzano got your back, bro.
I like it.
So
Well,
you
I
got,
mean,
you
it
got
also means
Pension
he made the
Plan
finals.
against Guardians.
Yeah.
Who do you have, GM? GM, Simon.
Well,
I
if
apologize.
you're asking me,
GM, go ahead, please.
Pension Plan against Guardians, I think it's Pension Plan. I think they're a little bit more complete rather than being top heavy.
I'm gonna go like Guardians against A side.
That wasn't the question.
That's fine. That's fine.
You asked
go
who
to-
I have in the
yeah,
finals.
Yeah,
You didn't
E1
ask
final.
me
Yeah, that's
between
fine.
those two.
That's perfectly fine. E2, anyone? We want to go with the E2 teams
I
here?
see Kraken's falling down, but being excellent in E2.
That's a good dark horse team.
Yeah, I like them as
I
a,
mean,
as
I
a
remember
horse
last
of some
season.
variety.
I stopped caring about Kraken. They came back.
And give me Les Amateurs des Sacs.
Yeah, they had a good game. 24-6
Yeah, they had a good
victory.
game.
Number
Yeah.
one team.
So I think that'll be interesting if that works out that way.
All right. It's now time for
Games of the week.
yes, or week of the games.
How many are we recapping?
We're
One-
gonna
how
go
many?
2 each. 2 for E1, 2 for E2.
So because I am picking in
read his article. That's gonna be
well,
released.
no, actually no, it's actually going to be in it's going to be in Marc-André's article. I have the power rankings in my article. He has
Yes.
the picks in his article.
Yes, of course.
So read Marc-André's article.
The ever
Synergy.
hardworking Marc Andre.
Scissor me timbers.
Okay.
All right, here we go, GM.
We have Vultures against Dude. Where's the end zone?
So dude, where's the end zone? Steph Fenn's team. He's taking another crack at quarterback. Vultures not quite looking quite as strong yesterday, but the top end athleticism being super impressive. Guys, what do you tell me?
Give me a dude was my end zone.
I mean, I'm never gonna pick Stefan's. So
Shocker.
he's trash.
Yeah,
You heard him last time on the podcast?
real
Boom.
intimidating words over there.
Media
Simone.
media violence right
Yeah,
there.
Right
Yeah, right
there.
there.
Yes.
Okay.
Next.
And then we have Glow Gang against Jean-Guy.
Jean-Guy, we talked about the return of Jean-Christophe Chartrand. He's going to come and have to face the behemoth in Arnaud Desjardins. What do you guys think is going to happen in this game?
They're gonna go 0-2, Jean-Guy. Glow gang all the way.
Yeah, for sure, Clogang.
Sucks when you are all your Jean-Guy count goes to 0.
E2, please.
And we have, as I'm scrolling,
You see me scroll.
Broken Ankles against Clinkers.
So broken ankles, we saw Jonathan Lemieux really struggle in his first week as quarterback of broken ankles. But on
He
side of
should be
Clinkers, we saw
better.
Marc-André Delaunay putting up great numbers despite throwing many balls in the coverage. Got away with some would be, should be, could be interceptions. Instead, still, nonetheless, put up the numbers when he got the second chance. In a game of second chances, who do you think comes ahead?
Clinkers.
Yeah.
Sorry, by the way, that was still D1, so we're going to... sorry,
That's
E1,
okay.
so we'll have to
One
do
more.
E2.
Let's see. You give
It's
one
week
E2
one,
game.
guy.
Number Juan against the Lemons.
Number 1.
I have to go with the name.
I don't
Number
know these
one.
teams yet, so I have no analysis.
Number 1. All right. It is now time for the magic words, please, gentlemen.
Which one do you hear, Mo? Yanni or Laurel? Give me.
Good night, Yanni.
Upset right there.
Upset City.
Like, I didn't think Mo would be a Laurel guy, but like,
I heard Laurel.
yeah.
Ryan and Reading. I will talk about it in the Div C, Div B podcast. He was going freaked out on
It's
this.
not the same podcast.
I know.
C
But
and
so,
D are
like,
different.
When can you see Mo getting romantically involved with like Laurel? I can see a Laurel comment.
Hello, Laurel.
Mokan two girlfriends.